Hi folks, thanks for joining me in my studio. Hope you enjoy this video, and don't forget, just take your time and you'll succeed. So guys, let's just run through the implements that we need to make these little boards pretty. I'll go through the edibles in a minute. So I've got two boards here because we're going to do two different designs. They're 5 inches across, small boards, but you can do this with any board, any sized board that you'd like. So you can pretty up a board for cake. I'm going to do it for a model. There's another video in this channel that you'll see, so that's what we're going to do. So a couple of boards. I've got a smoother, a fondant smoother. I have an ordinary sharp knife and a small palette knife here. I have a tiny brush. This is my water brush, and I've put this is a makeup sponge, so I put that on the brush just to hold it off the tabletop. I've got a longish rolling pin. I think it's about 12 inches in length. I'll have to work out centimetres for you. I'll try and do that and put it in the comments below. I've got in here just some boiled water in this egg cup. I've got some cutters here. I'm going to use these heart-shaped cutters. All the links to what I'm using will be below anyway. In the comments below you'll find them. And this little pile here is a pile of corn flour. I will use a corn flour pouch, but I just thought I'd put that there because some of you may not have a corn flour pouch. So that's the tools. Let's go on to the edibles. So all I have here is a small amount of Trex. That's going to make my fondant stick to the bowl easily. I've got some little pearl balls here, and I've got 2 bits of fondant, pink fondant and white fondant. I made that colour, but you can buy fondant. It's ordinary covering fondant, pink, and obviously it comes as white. There's about 170 grams of fondant here, and that should be sufficient to cover the 2 boards. And of course, I've got a mat to roll it out on. So let's get going. So first off, just let's prep our board to accept the fondant easily. So you can just spray it with water, but I use Trex, small amount of Trex, and this just acts as an adhesive for the fondant to stick to the board. So I'm going to rub it all over the board. Make sure I'm not leaving any gaps. So we want it to stick all over. That's that. Next, I'm just going to dust out my board with my corn flour patch. I'll need about half this quantity, obviously. I'm only covering 1 board at a time. Just roll the rolling pin on the corn flour so this doesn't stick. And we'll just roll this out. So you'll want this bit of fondant about 2 or 3 mil thick. No more than 3 millimeters really. It's not over thick, it's about 2 to 3 mil. I can feel it's thicker that side. Whoops. There you go. So once that's ready, we'll bring the board in. Just lay it on your board. Small rub around with the, I want to call it palette knife. It's not a palette knife. What is it? Smoother, with the fondant smoother. Just smooths it out a little bit. And then I'm going to cut around it to tidy it up with my sharp knife. Now the best thing to do really, best thing to use to cut fondant is pizza wheel. And I'll show you now the difference. Now I did not mention this in my tools, but this is the best thing. So you can see it's a much cleaner cut even than sharp knife. So now all we're going to do is just cut out some shapes out of this fondant that we've put on the board. So I'm using heart shapes just because it's Valentine's next week, but you can use absolutely anything you like. So make sure you can see. And just put them either randomly, or you can do it in a pattern around the board. And you can do as few or as many as you like. So now we're just going to fill those heart spaces with some hearts. Board. That's all. Just a bit more, bit of interest. Let's make sure you can see. So I want 1, 2, 3 of these. Just cut them out. All we're going to do is pick these shapes up and put them in their corresponding hole. Just pat them down really gently. Just smooth it over a little bit if you want to. There you go. So that's one little board. It just gives a bit of interest to the board. So what I'm going to do with this board is put some of these little sugar pearls around it. So we'll start here. I'm using the end of my brush, my paintbrush, just to make a tiny indent, not all the way down, just so that the sugar pearl will sit in there happily. So you can do them all the way round, or you can do them just random. And then just a small amount of water, just in each little indentation, but tiny amount of water. And all we do is just drop the pearl balls into the little indent, and it catches it, you see, so you don't have to really press.
Thanks. If you've got any questions, then just drop me a note in the comments below. And if you've made these and you've got some pics, then show me. Love to see them. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye bye now.